You're probably like, Angie, please say this is not what I think it is. And I'm like, it is. Hi, I'm Angie, welcome to another video of mine. So, as you can tell by the title, how to break up with someone. You're probably like, Angie, did you break up with your boyfriend? Yeah, I did. Now you see, I wasn't gonna make this video because literally last week I told you that I have a boyfriend and now that we're broken up. And it's kind of ridiculous because I feel like we're in middle school because we dated for 16 days. Going into that relationship, I was planning for it to be long term. I really was. I was like, yes, this is gonna be long term. I'm not gonna be dumb and like date for 2 weeks, but that ended up happening, so. So you're probably like, Angie, did you break up with him or did he break up with you? And I'm here to tell you, I broke up with him. So let's get that straight. Now, not to be salty about it, but I did the breaking up with because You're also probably like, Angie, why'd you break up with him? And I'm gonna tell you. So we knew each other a full month throughout this entire thing. 2 weeks we got to know each other, 2 weeks we dated. When I first met him, he was really cool. You know, like he had an awesome personality, he was a good Christian guy. Like I enjoyed spending time with him. And then we started dating, he asked me out, you know, he's like, and I was like, yeah, sure. And so for the first 3 days of us dating, it was great. He soon got very, very clingy. Very clingy. We'd text all day. Like I'd wake up, get a text saying, good morning, beautiful. And the first time he ever said that, I was like, oh, but then it got kind of old, so. And then we text until I would have to shut him down and be like, good night, I'm going to bed. And that could have been like 16, 18 hours. And so we would text, we'd walk to class together, we'd walk back to class together. I'd have like an hour where I wasn't with him. And then we would go eat dinner and I'd be with him all day. And so you're like, Angie, you could have shut him down. It's like, I could, but he'd be really disappointed. Like, he was so clingy. Like, I never had my own time. Like, so freaking clingy. And after our 3rd day of dating, I had to have a conversation with him of how he was moving too quickly. Like, he got serious quick. And I was like, we've been dating for 3 days, okay? So I had to have this conversation, not just day 3, but every other day I was having this conversation of, you're getting too serious, too quickly. So I was gonna wait it out until Thanksgiving just to see if I would change these emotions, you know, like of him being too clingy. Until Sunday night. Sunday we went to church and I was having this horrible anxiety about him because he sits so close to me. He's like taller than me, so he's like shadowing over me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, give me some freaking spare. After church, he's like, what do you want to do now? I'm like, oh, I gotta go do things like wash towels. And so I did wash towels, so it wasn't a lie. Then we started talking and stuff, and then that led into me being like, you give me freaking anxiety, okay? And then that led us to talking, you know, having a long conversation again about how he's too clingy, getting serious too quickly, you know? And then right when everything was getting brighten up the mood in the text again, he goes, so, me being oblivious to what he's trying to say at first, this is what he says. He goes, I really, really, really care about you. I wish I could express that better, but I can't yet. And at first I was like, I understand what you're saying. He's like, but do you? And I was like, yeah, that you care. And he's like, yeah, but there's much more. I'm like, yeah, I get it. He's like, you do? I'm like, yeah, that you care. And I was like, he cares. Like, I knew that because he's obsessed with me. And then he goes, okay. And then he goes, man, I wish I could say it. And then I go, say what? And then he goes, what I'm thinking. And I'm like, alrighty, like all happy. But as soon as he says, man, I wish I could say it, I was like, oh, shoot. He's in love with me. And I'm like, Angie, how do you like know that he's in love with you? Because he said, man, I wish I could tell you, but I can't say it yet. He was in love with me after 2 weeks of dating. No, that's not okay with me. That is not okay with me or anybody I had a conversation with about this. And I'm like, no, you're getting serious too quickly and I do not want that in my life. I feel like you are smothering me every second I am around you and I can't do this, okay? That led to my decision to break up with him. And this is the part where I'm gonna tell you how to break up with somebody. Now, what you do not want to do is do the horrible, horrible move of texting them, I'm breaking up with you. That is just, I know it's the easy way out, but you can't do that to somebody. You know, if he would have told me, hey, I'm in love with you, over text, I could have been like, well, since we're both saying something that we shouldn't say through text, I'm breaking up with you. That's when it's acceptable. But what I had to do, Monday, I was like, okay, I have to find a time to break up with him. My roommates knew what I was doing, everybody knew what I was doing, and so I was like, okay. So I'm in my film history class, I'm like, when is a good time to break up with him? I'm like, why not just after this class? So I text him, I'm like, I need to tell you something after class. And he goes, good or bad? I'm like, bad. And then he threw a curse word out and I was like, okay. And so I go over to him I'm really, really polite about this, really calm about this, and I'm like, listen, you give me a lot of anxiety. For that reason, I'm breaking up with you. And he looked like he was about to cry, which is a horrible thing. And that hurt a little bit, seeing him so devastated, but it was good for me. I don't know if it was good for him, but I had to worry about myself. I was like, yeah, this is getting serious too quickly. I just can't do that right now. And I'm like, do you have anything to say? And he looks at me and he goes, not anything I can say out loud. And I was like, oh, okay. And then there's just a little bit of an awkward pause, and I'm like, what do I do with myself? And then once again, I'm like, do you have anything to say? And he goes, like I said, nothing I can say out loud. So I'm like, okay, see you later. And he's like, maybe. And I was like, okay, way to be salty again, bye. And this whole encounter, reaction, whatever, happened with like 2 minutes. And then as I walked away, I'm like, I'm free! And so that's what I really wanted in life, and I'm like free. Like, I am so happy I broke up with him, as bad as that sounds. Of course, he texted me like an hour and a half-ish later, like, hey, I understand why you broke up with me, this is blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, he's not like super salty about it, but low-key I know he's salty about it. And so what you're gonna do when you break up someone, you gotta think of a time to do it. You gotta be polite. You can't be salty about it unless they're salty to you and whatever reason, you know, there's different situations for everything. And you're just gonna be honest. Like, you can't lie about it, you gotta be honest. And honesty is the best thing that you can do, because you can't lie to their face like, I'm breaking up with you because, school. Like, that was not the reason I was gonna break up with him. No, school doesn't stress me out. He did. So I broke up with him. That's my breakup story. I'm really happy that I broke up with him. Like, I'm really happy. So don't tell me, oh, I'm sorry that happened, because I'm really happy about it. And that is all I have for you today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you saw, give it a thumbs up and subscribe because it's free. I'm up to 50 subscribers on this channel right now, and I thank you so much for that. I'm up to 100 on my vlog channel, and I thank you so much for doing that if you are subscribed to my vlog channel. I make new videos on this channel every Friday. Like I said, I have a vlog channel where I upload vlogs about every 3 days. So if you want to check that out, link in the description below. And I'll see you guys next Friday with a brand new video. Bye!